Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Celebrity Creators Show. I am so excited about our guest tonight. Brian, how about you?
Absolutely off the top. Can't wait. Let's get her going.
All right, you got it. Before we get started, though, I want everybody to, let me back up. For those of you who may not know, my dear friend and my business partner with Celebrity Creators, I'm going to go like this because I always get confused which side he's on. He's on one of those sides. But I'm talking about my friend Brian. Brian has been a software engineer for over 24 years. I'm getting stepped over my tongue tonight. I need a little more water or something. Or I'm just excited about our guest. I don't know. But my dear friend Brian has put together a lot of the beautiful things that you see here on the site every week. The celebrity creator logos and all this. He is absolutely fantastic when it comes to all this technical stuff, which is way over my head. But at any rate, the other thing, Brian has devised and put together some amazing social media programs over the past couple of years. He is a social media enthusiast. He is a speaker. He is working on a book with me. He is an author. He is also very talented in some of the behind the scene things, like I'm saying, that you folks can't see, and many, many more things to boot. I don't want to take up any more time, and I don't want you to take a lot of time with me tonight either, Brian, but I just want to let everybody know a little bit about him and how much I appreciate sharing this with him every week. Brian, over to you.
Thank you again so much, Kathy. And yes, you did go too long once again, so it's my turn. This wonderful woman to my left, your right, is Kathy Stover. As you can see right beneath her, there's her name. But she is a wonderful person with an unbelievable background, very successful social media coach. You know, she talked about I had developed some social media programs. I don't come close to what this woman can do with social media. She has taken it and raised the bar way up. If you need any additional or any help in growing your social media fan base, your Twitter followers, etc., and using that for business, Kathy's your person. So get in touch with her to explore that. As she mentioned, she is also an author. We are both co-writing a book and a speaker. We've shared the stage together, and just unbelievable experience. Real quick, operations manager, sales manager, dating back, or not dating back, but for 25 years with a Fortune 500 company, vast affiliate marketing and network marketing experience, and she's also an eBay expert. This woman has many talents. But I would like to get moving on to with the show with our great, wonderful guest. Kathy, take it away and bring her on.
Absolutely. I want to tell everybody, or I should say we want to tell everybody about our guest tonight, Rhonda Fisher. Rhonda wasn't always a diamond woman. There was a time when she struggled to get out of bed in the morning. A time when being around her own children was more of a frustration than a blessing. A time when her business wasn't making any money at all. Can some of you identify with that? And a time when her marriage was completely falling apart. You know, and even some of us can identify with that as well. This was a very lonely place for her, and she didn't like being there at all. Who would, right? Fortunately, she didn't stay there long. Through the help of a life coach, friends, her church, and a desire to change, things got better, a lot better for Rhonda. She started changing some key things that made a huge difference in her life. She trusted her mentors and coaches and really followed a system that worked. She's becoming a diamond woman because her eyes are on the diamond that's forming within her. Rhonda has written a book that's filled with tips and strategies on how to become a diamond woman. She would love to show you how you can have less stress in your life by discovering tools to help you overcome everyday challenges. Her book is entitled Multifaceted and Fabulous, Turning Women Under Pressure into Priceless Diamonds. We would like to welcome our special guest tonight, Rhonda Fisher. Welcome, Rhonda.
Thank you, Kathy. I am so excited to be on the show with you guys tonight and to be able to share my story and inspire other women to be diamond women.
And it is we who thank you for sharing this wonderful message for all those who may be going through something similar. This is fantastic. Let's get started right off with your book, Rhonda. Can you share with us what motivated you to write the book Multifaceted and Fabulous?
Well, as Kathy had said in my introduction, I wasn't always a diamond woman. And so my book is all about my comeback story. It's all about how my husband was in a serious accident and my kids were very young at the time. And so I, just through situations that I found myself in, I reached the lowest point I had ever reached before and knew that I did not like it there, did not want to stay there. And I lost sight of who I was, who is Rhonda Fisher anyway? And how did I get to this place where I am so lonely and so depressed? And so it was my journey back, and I realized that a lot of other women feel the same way. And although the situations and the details are different, we go through a lot of the same stuff. And so I didn't want other women to have to struggle like I did, and I want to be there to help them. And so that was the birth of starting this whole book and this project to get out there to help women to find themselves, to find who they are, and become this wonderful gem of a woman.
So, obviously being a woman, I love the whole diamond thing. And actually, diamond is my birthstone. So maybe that kind of coincides with it. I'm not sure. But,
yes, I'm loving the diamond. I'm loving the diamond woman part too. I'm thinking, I told my husband, I got to be able to wear a diamond that people can notice. Do you think this works?
Yes. Some serious
now tell
bling.
me, do you wear that when you go grocery shopping?
It does attract quite a bit of attention, so. But it's heavy, so I don't want to wear it all the time.
Yeah, that could be bad if you're trying to pick out a roast or something. Just the weight of that with that diamond would just be killer.
Exactly.
You might develop carpal tunnel on your wrists.
Exactly.
Well, so what is a diamond woman? What makes us? Is it something that we become? Is it something that we're born with? What is a diamond woman?
Well, I'll tell you, being a diamond woman is not perfection. It's not about being perfect.
Ooh.
It's about overcoming the challenges, the stress, the pressures of everyday life that we find ourselves in, and becoming a better person because of it. So who can become a diamond woman? Anybody that's experiencing stress or challenges or pressures in life and becomes a better person because of it. Do you know of anybody like that?
You know what? If we were doing, and I can't remember, it was when I was a kid, there was like this show where the lady would hold this thing up to the screen and say she could see everybody. So I'm saying if we had that big magnifying glass on the screen and looked out there, there's probably a lot of women. And, there's probably some men out there too that would be raising their hands. We can
absolutely
identify, I think, with stress and pressure in our life.
Absolutely. Well, and it was from looking at diamonds and how diamonds are formed that I really was able to come to a conclusion that women and diamonds are very much alike. And so I'm going to go through just a quick list of how women and diamonds are alike. And I talk about this further in my book. But diamonds are multifaceted. And I brought along one of my diamonds for you to look at. Just a little one here.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the many facets on this diamond and realize that if it was just, had only 4 sides to it, it wouldn't be near as beautiful as it is. So women are multifaceted, and so are diamonds. Diamonds are all different. There's little tiny inclusions, little details that make all diamonds different and have identifying characteristics. So do women. Diamonds endure intense pressure to become a gem. They start out as an ugly piece of carbon, and they endure that pressure to become the jewel that they are. So do women. Diamonds shine when they're polished. I got to tell you, so do women. Diamonds have value. So do women. And diamonds are strong and durable. Nothing can scratch a diamond except another diamond. And I find that's very similar to women as well.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I would add one more to that, that women are beautiful.
Oh, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Well, right on the heels of Valentine's Day. I don't know many men that would be happy without you guys, I'll tell you that.
We really appreciate that. Sometimes that doesn't come often enough either. And Rhonda, that makes a difference too, don't you think?
Absolutely. That comes in the value. We need to feel valued. And it also comes in the polishing. That's the strokes that make us shine, is hearing those compliments, hearing that we're appreciated, that we're doing a good job. That makes us shine.
And I mean this, both of you aren't just beautiful on the outside, but on the inside as well. I know Kathy very well, and Rhonda, I had the great pleasure of sitting down with you during lunch a few weeks ago and got to know you better, and you truly are a gem, as well as you, Kathy. You're both just gems. And I say that a lot about people, and I forgot who it was. I think it was Marianne I was talking to, and yeah, it was. And I was telling her that we had that talk at lunch, Rhonda, and I said, Rhonda is such a gem. And she goes, wow, that fits her book. I said, hey, you're right. Multifaceted and fabulous. I never even thought of that.
Yeah. Can you tell I'm shining?
Yes. You have a glow about you.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about diamond women and how to, we're going to get into how to achieve that, I'm assuming. What kind of strategies or steps have you developed that someone could follow that they can become a diamond woman?
Well, a lot of people come up with these strategies. 7 quick and easy steps to become a millionaire and all of these things. Unfortunately, becoming a diamond woman is not the easy road, because along with becoming a diamond woman, it's these difficulties and the challenges and the heat and the pressure that are what makes us diamond women. And so it's not an easy road, but there are steps that I have developed that you can follow that help get you there. And I don't know, do you want me to go through those?
Sure.
Do we have time for that?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind sharing some of those, that would be great.
Okay, just real quick. And again, there's more in my book that goes into more detail about these. But some of them would be to find joy in the small things in life. So many times we get busy, we get busy with things and we forget to appreciate the small things in life. A hug and a kiss from our kids. The overused cliche, the flowers along the sidewalk. Stop and enjoy the small things that help give you the satisfaction. Number 2 would be don't be afraid to fail. Oh my gosh, we learn so much from our failures. And as diamond women, we go out, we risk things, we do stuff, and we fail at some stuff. And we learn from that, we pick up our boots and we get moving on. So not being afraid to fail is number 2. Number 3 is turning obstacles into opportunities. Oh my gosh. When my husband had his accident, he could have stayed his whole mindset could have crippled him for life. But he said, no way, I'm going to take this obstacle and turn it into an opportunity. And he was able to rise in water ski again. And that's another whole story that he'll share with you later on. But it's taking all those little things that look like problems and turning them into opportunities. Number 4 would be to set boundaries. And boundaries would be setting things around yourself so that you can control more of your own life and what you allow in and what you keep out. Number 5 would be don't lose sight of who you are. It is so important to take care of you. And we'll talk later about being able to keep yourself full with things that fulfill you so that then you can take care of others as well. Number 6 is to laugh a lot. Learn to laugh and do it frequently. It is so good for the soul. Laughter really is a good medicine. And that's one of the steps that, in being a diamond woman, is being able to laugh. Number 7 would be to stay connected with people. That was one of the issues that I had when I was at my lowest point. I didn't have connections with other people and got so lonely. And if I would have stayed connected, that could have really helped. Number 8 is to focus on priorities. Boy, the small stuff totally gets in the way.
Yes.
And so by focusing on our priorities, that helps us achieve what we want to achieve. And number 9 is to leave a legacy. We are always being watched by our kids, by our family, by our friends. And it's so important to be able to instill in those people that are closest to you what your values are, so that you can then leave a legacy that will carry on after you're gone. So those are just some of the basic steps to being a diamond woman and that road that it takes to get there.
You know, and I love that and resonated well with several steps that you went through. But what crossed my mind too, and this is something when we were putting the marketing out there for the show tonight, I have a sneaking suspicion, and Brian can answer this better than I, that a lot of what you just shared in the steps could certainly be appropriate for men as well.
Absolutely. I didn't see one that would not fit.
Absolutely. Yes. These are life lessons that apply to just about anybody.
And I think that's really good, particularly for the men that might be listening tonight, because in you sharing what you're sharing, perhaps they're going to get something out of it, so they can see how they can support and help maybe nurture the diamond within the women that they have around them, by maybe allowing them to go through some of these processes that you're sharing, and be supportive along the way as well. So I think that's great. Thanks for sharing those. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about anybody else, but it certainly makes you want to get the book so you can find out the rest of the story.
That's right. That's right. There's a lot more in the book.
All right. But since I'm talking about how men are and can be a part of this, how do our partners play in the process of all of this coming together?
Our partners are definitely part of our support system. And I know with my husband, he has been a wonderful help. At the time that I was going through my lowest point, he was also going through his stuff because he was crippled at the time. And yet, through the daily challenges of life, he is very much a support and can come alongside and, have someone that we can share and bounce things off with. And also, being a diamond woman is being able to handle the stress and the pressures of life. Our partners and our spouses often are a cause of that stress too. So they help us to be better diamond women because they allow us to go through extra stress. And that's all part of the process too. No one ever said that marriage was easy. Marriage is very difficult. And to be able to stick with it and to communicate and to make it work. And so that's part of the process, is going through even those rough spots in marriage and being able to come out a better person on the other side because of it. So our partners help in both sides. They help encourage and support us, and they help give us some of those stressful experiences that allow us to learn and grow from as well.
Very wise words. Go ahead.
I was just going to interject something here really quick. One thing that I noticed when I was going through and reading the information about you, and by the way, Brian and I have actually met you several months ago, early last year. So we're excited to have you on, and it's been a pleasure going through and getting to know a little bit more about you. But something that I noticed, and we both understand, you have young children, you have a husband, but you direct all of your knowledge and your expertise and what you share and everything about you with women of every age. So it's not just moms and working moms, and it's all different women. So I just wanted to make sure that we got that out there so that anybody listening would know that you just can work with and help every woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. And I've drawn on my experience too. I didn't get married till later on in life. So I was a single career woman for many years. And, you know, then a working mom, and then a stay-at-home mom, and then a little of both. And, you know, so it's kind of like the whole multifaceted thing. I've been through many different stages.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about this is we can all learn from our past life experiences, and in your case, help others to get past those experiences that may not be the most pleasant. I really appreciate something you said earlier, which was becoming a diamond woman is not easy. It's difficult. Many people will try to sugarcoat what they are talking about and say, press this easy button and everything, you know, you'll become rich and famous and everything will just come easy to you. Really appreciate you just coming out straight and saying the truth, because that's really how it works for those that are watching. If you're trying to become successful, it'll take some effort, and you will go through some struggles along the way. Like Rhonda pointed out, don't be afraid to fail. I had personally a business for 6 years. We went under. I didn't look at it as a failure. It was an incredible education. If you turn it around and look at it that way, at things that you go through in life, think about the only thing you have to risk is you will be educated, or you will actually move forward, and you'll still learn as you go. So those are great points that you brought up. And about the marriage thing, it's a journey. Just like you were saying, it's a journey, and it's a back and forth. There are highs, there are lows, but all in all, for me, and I'm sure for you guys now, it's an ultimate high. Just wouldn't do it any other way. I think God created us that way, and we were built that way to be married, man and woman, and thank God
and
for
to
God.
complement each other.
That's right.
Exactly.
But this next question, I wanted to... Go ahead.
I was going to say, Marianne is saying that Rhonda is the real thing. Her love goes deep, and she always believes the best. And Marianne says to you, Brian, wise words.
Marianne Amen is who she's
Thank you, Marianne.
Talking about. Yes.
Very dear friend. She is a diamond woman also.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, EHMANN. Look that up on the internet, Facebook. You definitely want to hook up with this woman. Thank you, Marianne.
Yep.
One thing that plays in all our lives is stress, and it's a horrible word. I don't even like saying it or thinking about it, but it's a fact of life. And we all know that it plays a major role in day-to-day life. What advice would you give to help us with some of the challenges that come along with stress?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Stress. You know, never had to deal with it, so I don't know. Can't really help you there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, actually I have a section in my book devoted to stress. Because stress does play a very vital role in our lives, and there's the good stress and the bad stress. There's good stress that is actually essential, that helps our bodies react in a time of crisis. You get the adrenaline rush, the heart pumping, and all of the stuff that's good stress. It helps you prepare for a presentation when you're nervous and anxious about something. It helps you react in your car, slam on your brakes before you end in an accident. That kind of stress is very necessary in life. But it often gets carried away, and we carry so much stress from all the other areas of our life. And when that stress becomes overpowering, and it gets totally out of balance, it can cause some serious issues and some serious health problems and all kinds of things, relational problems, everything. Oh, stress, that kind of stress, when it's out of balance, we got to get rid of it. So I have developed a little program. Again, it's in my book, actually around page 91. But it's called, I use the acronym ARM, A-R-M. You want to arm yourself with the tools to deal with stress. And A stands for assess. You have to assess, what is causing me stress? So that you can, once you identify it, you can find out where it's coming from, And then the R is for respond. You have to be able to respond appropriately to the stress. When you're stressed, are you going to lash out at people? What are you going to do? And having a plan of how you're going to respond helps you deal with it and helps you then manage it, which is the M. The M is to manage stress. And in managing stress, you make a plan for what is going to, what can I do to reduce this stress in my life that it doesn't keep coming back? And do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to go for a massage? Do I need to do some deep breathing exercises? Do I need to pray? What am I going to do to help manage my stress so that it does not become an unhealthy situation in my life? So I developed that acronym ARM, A-R-M, assess, respond, and manage.
Assess, respond, and manage. And I think that oftentimes we don't take those moments in that time to go through that process. So we end up out of control and saying things that we don't mean to say, or whatever the situation might be, but we react in a way that we regret later. So I think it's really cool that you have put this together so that it gives us something to look at so that we can stop, maybe take a deep breath, pause, and put those responses into practice and make a difference so that we're not experiencing all of those things that happen to us when we let stress enter our life.
Right.
That's really cool. I like that.
And that's part of just forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay. So the other thing with that is, so you're talking about ARM. What do you think works best? Is it something that needs to work succinctly, or can you use bits and pieces of it in a certain circumstance? How would you look at that? Does it need to be the total package there?
Well, I think the key is being proactive. Many times we just react to stress and we get into that mode of, I panic. We have certain things that we allow our bodies to do when we're under stress. And if we're not ready for it, we become reactive. And so our whole life we're spending reacting to situations when we really need to get ahead of the game, take a step forward and be able to look back and go, okay, plan for what I'm going to do. I need to be proactive about what I'm going to do. And when this stress comes up, how do I want to respond? And there's so many times in my own life that I can look back on things, and when I reacted, hindsight goes, oh man, I wish I would have done that differently. Right. And yet when I'm proactive and I have a plan and I can go, okay, next time I'm upset with the kids or I'm stressed about setting those boundaries with the kids, this is what I'm going to do. And when I can follow my plan of what I set out I was going to do, amazing differences when you're proactive as to being reactive. I have a quick example of that. I was driving in the car with the kids. They're fighting in the back, and I end up screaming, boys, you need to settle down right now and stop fighting. And they just kind of did not take me seriously. They're laughing about it. They're getting louder. And of course, they're teaching their little sister all of these wonderful things and this poor behavior in the car. And so by now I'm driving and I'm screaming at them from the driver's seat. And then I just had to stop and go, wait a minute. They're not taking me seriously. And I'm not getting anywhere with them. And that was being reactive. I was stressing with their behavior and I was being reactive. I pulled the car over, took a big breath, and I turned around and I said, okay, boys, you are now on a talking timeout. You will lose nickels out of your nickel jar every noise that I hear until we get home. And they're like, I said, that was a noise, that's a nickel. They're like, oh, that's another nickel. And, they had to lose several nickels before they realized I was serious. But I got to tell you, the whole rest of the ride home was very quiet. And that's an example of being proactive, when I could set aside enough time to go, okay, wait a minute. I got to make progress here. And when I was proactive, it made a world of difference.
Well, you know, I have to agree with Marianne. She just popped in on the chat and said massage is always the answer. I try, because if I could afford it, I would have a masseuse on staff.
No kidding.
In my house, I'd be having a massage all the time. Now you're talking.
Yeah, right before the show, Kathy saying, I need a neck rub. Seriously.
That was, before I'm like going, oh my gosh, yeah. That was my answer too.
Yes.
You know, that also works for men, I will say.
Really?
What, the massage?
Yeah. Definitely. I did a his and her massage on a cruise, and it was, when we got done, I could barely move. I was so relaxed. I was in a euphoric state. I was like, hey, I like this.
Yeah, and it kind of washes all that stress away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
Was interesting experience. I liked it. Will women truly recognize when they are going through this transition, you know, from where they are now, say the carbon, into a diamond? Will they recognize the shift from where they are now to where they need to be to attain this diamond status? You know, will they recognize that it's happening, and what signs or can't think of the word, but things that they recognize, will those help them realize that it's happening?
Yeah. Well, they're not going to get a letter in the mail that says you are now a diamond woman.
Congratulations.
Well,
does not happen that way. But after, you know, as a diamond is being formed, it is mined in its rough stage. So diamonds come in all different stages, sizes, looks, or whatever. And I mean, I don't know how well anybody can see this. This is an uncut diamond. Just, it has a few sides, but it's not nearly as beautiful as a cut, shined, and polished diamond. And I believe that that diamond is inside of everybody all the time. It's there. It's a matter of being able to recognize those challenges that you go through, that's the cutting process. That's the sharpening process and the polishing. And, you know, so it's almost to the point where we're never going to say like, okay, I just passed the stage where, you know, I've done step 9, so now I'm a diamond woman. It's kind of always has to be at the front of your mind going, wow, this challenge that I am facing right now is polishing and creating that diamond in me. It's not a, I'm a diamond woman, not today, but I will be tomorrow. We're constantly in that process of cutting and polishing and refining into that diamond. So yeah, through every single challenge, you can say, hey, yippee, it's creating that diamond in me, and I'm going to be a better person depending on how I handle this challenge. And for me, that's motivating. I'm like, I was just whining to a friend the other day saying, I don't want to be a diamond woman. It hurts. And I said, can't I just be a ruby or a sapphire? She's like, no, go for the best. You are a diamond woman, and it hurts sometimes, but you're going to make it through. And that's part of that support team that you have to have, those connections that you have to have, because it isn't always easy. But you need that cheering section to keep you going, because you don't want to stay an uncut diamond. You want to go through that process of becoming that beautiful gem that then can make a difference in other people's lives. So it's a process.
That's beautiful. And, you know,
and it keeps going.
Marianne has given a suggestion by something you said. This is really cool. She's saying, how great would it be for you to have a certificate to give women so that when they are feeling worthless, they can look at that and feel special. What an awesome idea.
I love that idea, Marianne. Thank you.
2,000.
Yes. Okay. We're writing that one down here.
Now she's going to start writing notes. Well, Brian, do you want to share some of Rhonda's information?
If you want a certificate, a Diamond Woman certificate, you email me and I'll get you one.
Yeah, on that note, as you're watching this show on celebritycreators.com, as you'll see right above us here is a still picture or image of Rhonda, not the one that's moving right now in this video. And after the show is over, not now, but after, be sure to click right on her nose, on that image up there, right on her nose, and that will take you to her Facebook page where you can get connected with her on a more personal level there. But also be sure to click the link or the banner beneath the Multifaceted and Fabulous link where you can opt in to her website there, and that's where you can get connected with her and she can hook up with you for that certificate showing you that you are becoming a diamond. So be sure to click on both her nose up above and the banner beneath after the show's over. If you're watching a recording of this, feel free to pause the video, click, and it'll go in another tab and then come back. But don't interrupt Rhonda. We got some great stuff coming. So be sure to check her out through both of those links.
Well, you know, one of the things that you were talking about was the fact that you had a conversation with a friend the other day, and she was telling you, come on, keep it going. Yes, you are a Diamond Woman. So how important is it to have mentors and be involved in groups and have that connection to keep us lifted up when we're not feeling so good?
Great question.
Mm-hmm. That is an excellent question. And I cannot even begin to tell you how huge it is that you have mentors and that you have a support group. And I talk a lot about that in my book because of how important that is. And I'll give you my latest example. I had set some boundaries with my kids just this past weekend. And Forrest, my husband, was out of town, so it's just Mom, and they were pushing every button I had. And but I had set those boundaries and I needed to follow through with it. And I got to a point where, I mean, I only have 3 kids and only 2 can talk. And they were on each side of me, please mom, we promise we'll be good. Please, can we do? And I'm like, no, you blew it. You made your choices. They were bad choices. So no, we're not going to go do this activity that they had really wanted to do. And I was looking forward to the activity as well. We all really wanted to go do this, but they couldn't follow through with where I had set the boundaries. And so we couldn't go. And I'm sitting there and they're just barraging me with, please, Mom, please. No. And it was all I could do to just sit there. And after a while, when they start begging so much, I started to second guess myself. Well, okay, have I set too strict of boundaries? You know, have they been, has it been long enough? Should I give in and just we show up late? You know, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I do now? And I was starting to give in to that. I had to call my support team. And I called 2 friends and I said, here's the situation. What would you do? And they're like, oh, Rhonda, you're doing the right thing. Stand your ground. Don't give in. And I'm sitting there crying on the phone. Okay. And that's all I needed to hear was, Rhonda, you're doing the right thing. Stay strong. Stay tough. And I can't tell you what a difference it made with them. For them to learn, Mom's not going to change her mind. These are the boundaries. She's not changing her mind. And so then the next day when they were testing me, you know, it's like, do you really want to go there? Oh, you're right. No. But it was that support team, having them there, that helped me through that, and knowing who you can call to support you in that is crucial, very crucial. And actually, there's another example. I also in the business world. I belong to a mastermind group. Craig Deswalt is my business coach. Hi, Craig. He's been a wonderful support and help, and he leads these mastermind groups. Incredible group of like-minded people together, and in between 2 of the mastermind groups, they're 6 months apart, I hadn't really done anything that I was supposed to do in those 6 months. And so I'm like, yeah, well, I was pregnant and sick and having a baby, you know, so I was busy.
Right.
But I was like, you know, I really don't feel like going to this mastermind group because I haven't done what I said I was going to do, like write a book. And, but I said, no, you know what? I need to go. Even if I just don't say anything, I'll just sit in the back. I'll just absorb it all. I went anyway. And I got so much out of that mastermind group, just being able to listen to people and have them share their ideas with each other. I was able to then share. I got so motivated. I actually left there, went out, did, you know, huge goals, did my website, did my book, did my, all these things that I wanted to do 6 months prior, but didn't get around to it. And that mastermind group, the like-minded people in your life are there to just kind of keep you in gear and to keep you going. And that is so crucial, to stay in touch with like-minded people who are going where you want to go, who have ideas for you, who can hold you accountable, who can be that support team that you draw upon when you start to need help. Very important.
And
great question. Can you tell I'm a little bit passionate about that one?
Yes, just a little bit.
Well,
it is. That just resonates. I know it resonates with me. I'm sure it does with Brian as well.
Big time. You're absolutely correct. As a matter of fact, Marianne Eamon, who's on the chat right now, is my coach at this very moment. And I can't tell you the impact she's had, not only my business life, but my life. It's really caused a positive shift in ways I can't even explain, because she does hold me accountable, and that's, for me, key. I have difficulty staying on track on certain things, and she's been a godsend for me, literally. And I appreciate her so much. But you're absolutely correct. Find a mentor, but definitely get a mentor that meets with your values, your religious beliefs, your ethical values. It'll be a much easier ride if you hook yourself up or line yourself up with someone of high character, like a Marianne Eamon or a Craig Duswalt or a Kathy Stover or a Rhonda Fisher. Be sure to put that in the mix, and you'll find out fairly quickly what the person is made of and if they are a fit. But definitely hook up with a mentor. A great way that Kathy and I always talk about of finding people like this are attend events, live events. We know that our buddy Craig is having one coming up soon, the Rockstar Marketing Boot Camp. So just go to events. You'll meet some incredible people, and you will eventually create lifelong relationships with those who then can, several of them, turn into be a coach-like or a mentor-like individual for you. Very important, and we completely agree. I love this.
I can't even begin to tell you how many relationships I have made, from these events. And, one event leads to another event where you just really connect with people that are going places that you want to go. Yes. And it's fabulous.
Yeah, another.
And I think Marianne lovingly, she didn't put lovingly, but lovingly put kick you in the butt. I think that was directed at you, Brian.
Yeah, and I kind of felt that. I was wondering what that was. I think she's wearing a pointy-toed shoe or something. That was kind of painful. But, it's good pain, and because
coaches and mentors need to do that.
Yes.
They need to be honest with you and tell you what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear. Absolutely.
That's a very good point.
So I was going to say, what about your speaking, Rhonda? You do speaking as well, correct? I mean, it's not just your book. You actually go out and share your message with audiences.
I do. And right now, I have a monthly Shine and Dine luncheon for women. It's here in my local town in Santa Clarita. Hopefully we'll be able to expand and go cross country in different cities. But right now it's right here in Santa Clarita. And it's all about how we as women need that support group and need that that polishing and so we shine, we polish each other, and we dine over lunch. And so each luncheon event has different speakers for a personal growth aspect and also a practical growth aspect, depending on the time of year. I bring in extra guest speakers that will speak on specific topics that women deal with that are very live and crucial tips for stuff we're going through every day, whether we are working at home or working out in the workplace somewhere. We are women and we have responsibilities. And so these tips and things that I bring to the Shine and Dine are key and essential for living life as a diamond woman. Awesome. And I speak other places. I speak at churches and associations and groups and stuff too.
You know, I want to bring up something about how we prioritize, you know, our self amongst others. You know, are we putting ourselves first? Are we putting ourselves behind others? And I know that women in general tend to put themselves behind others out of their, you know, their life journey, because when they are raising kids, it's hard to put yourself first all the time when you have someone 100% dependent on you. It's hard to put yourself first when you have a husband who's sick, who's a whiner like me, and says, I need you to, you know, wait on me hand and foot because I'm a wimp and I can't get up because I'm too sick. And, you know, women are always putting themselves behind others. What would you say the benefit would be in rethinking that position for you to start putting yourself ahead on occasion?
Mm-hmm. Brian, that is such a key point. And that's, I think, why I ended up where I did many years ago at that very low, lonely, and depressed point, because women by nature, we're nurturers. We want to take care of everybody else. And so I gave and I gave and I gave and I took care of everybody and failed to take care of myself. And that's where I lost total track of who I was or what I needed. I didn't even know what my favorite color was anymore because I was so used to putting myself out into everybody else. And I think of like a pitcher of water. A pitcher of water is very useful when someone is thirsty. You can say, oh, come here. Let me pour some water for you. And you can give them water when they're thirsty. You pour the pitcher, you give water to everybody. And what's going to happen to that pitcher eventually?
It's going to run out.
That's right.
It gets empty.
Yep.
And I think that's what we do as women a lot of the times is we pour that pitcher to everybody else, and then we have nothing left to give. And I realized I couldn't even take care of my own kids because my pitcher had run empty. I had not taken care of me so that then I could take care of them. And I had to totally retrain myself and my own thinking to go, wait a minute, it is important for me to take care of myself so that I am healthy and I have something to give to my family and to my kids to take care of them. So it is so important that we fill the pitcher. And in my book, I give several different ideas of ways that you can fill the pitcher, but you find things that fulfill you, whether that's going out to lunch with a friend, whether it's taking some time for yourself to read a book, to, if you love cooking, do you know, cooking, you know, whatever it is that fills you, you have to do something for yourself to fill that pitcher.
Have to
very important.
The reservoir.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to replenish. And I know that throughout my life, raising my children and my family, and now it's my husband and I, but same thing, even when you're in a different season of life, like I am with my husband and I, you still go through processes and different phases, so you still have to keep that pitcher filled. Mm-hmm. You know, even though you don't have as many activities or things going on because children take that space, you still have to take that time for yourself and keep yourself replenished. I so identify with that. Mm-hmm. And it brought something to mind, and I'm going to kind of back a little bit. You were talking about disciplining the kids and they weren't listening. It shot a memory in my mind of a phone call that I received from my daughter one time when my two very young granddaughters were in the back seat screaming and yelling. And she called me from her cell phone. She was in tears, and I said, "What is going on?" And she said, "Mom, now I understand why mother animals in the wild eat their young." Oh my God. she said, I can't take it, you know. So the thing about that is, I think that we all go through periods of time like that. Sometimes it's with our husbands, sometimes it's with our children. I can say for me at this point, it's my husband and I have an elderly mom, and it's kind of going through some of those things, but it all comes back to replenishing yourself, like you're saying, and taking care of and nurturing yourself and finding outlets that are going to feed you in whatever way you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really great.
Absolutely. And that brings me to another point about how this whole aspect of Diamond Women spans the generations. It's not just about women with kids. It's not just about women in college. It spans the generations, and I think the key really is keeping your priorities. Because priorities change as you get older. I mean, when you're in college, your priorities are a little different than when you have a family to take care of. And your priorities change as you get older and you're getting your kids off to college. They're different. And then as you're experiencing grandparenthood, your priorities are different. When you're in retirement, your priorities are going to change throughout whatever stage in life that you're at. But the key is to focus in on what your priorities are, because there are priorities at that stage. And I actually have, because I'm a very busy, multifaceted, and fabulous woman, I tend to get caught up a lot of times in just the busyness of life and what I'm trying to accomplish. So I have actually made a little jar that reminds me to keep track of my priorities. And if you have a jar and your priorities are represented by big rocks, you have to put the big rocks in the jar first. If the jar represents your life, you have to put the big rocks in the jar first, because those are your priorities. Your priorities are things like your spouse, your children, your health, things that if nothing else remained and you only had those things, your life would still be full. Then we have some smaller rocks, and in my jar it's represented by the blue ones. And those are the other things in life that are important. Your house, your car, your job, things that are important, but there's still room for those. And then lastly, it's the sand. The sand is just the small stuff. It's cleaning the house. It's taking your dry cleaning. It's going grocery shopping. It's stuff that you have to do. But if you filled your jar with sand first and you filled it with all of the small stuff first, you wouldn't have room for the rocks and the priorities in your life. And so it's so important, I think, at any stage of life to be able to fill your life with your priorities first. And on here I have a saying that says, life is a gift, fill it with significance. And I just keep my little jar here on my desk to remind me, priorities first, because the sand will try and fill up the whole jar if I don't have my priorities in there first. So that's my little reminder.
Very nice.
Wow, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And something that I discovered in going through your site, we can actually purchase a jar like that.
Yes, I actually have them for sale. They're on my website, at rhondafisher.com. And I've made it a little aesthetically pleasing, so it's not just a jar of rocks, but it can sit there to remind you of the priorities. And then I have a sticker, I don't know if you can see that, a sticker on the top that has the saying about what each of the items represent in there to remind you of what the rocks, the pebbles, and the sand are. Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, we have somebody on our chat room that has been making several comments about how much you've changed their life, and they've heard you speak and read your book. And I'm sorry, I can't, I'm not sure what their name is, but you have just been a great source of strength for them So I just wanted to share that with you, that somebody on here has really been touched by what it is that you do and your writing and your speaking.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for sharing that, whoever that is. That is my mission, and my prayer is to be able to reach out and help and inspire other women, because we go through a lot of the same stuff. No, it's just the details are a little different, and you have to have a coach, a mentor, and support team to rally around you. So I'm so grateful and thankful to God that I could be of some help to people.
That's beautiful. The other thing that I wanted to share is Jean Amen also made a comment a little while ago saying that what a joy it is to see both you and Forrest work together as a partnership, because you strengthen each other. And I saw just a bit of that. Brian and I have been around you together as a couple a few times, but it was a real joy for me in particular today. Forrest put the Celebrity Creators Show out there and was promoting you in your show tonight. So that was beautiful. I mean, he's very supportive and pushing you out there and helping you to become a Diamond Woman, or to continue to grow and be a Diamond Woman. So that was very, very touching for me as well.
He is definitely very much a support part of my support team, and unfortunately he couldn't be here tonight, or I would have had him pop his head in. He's in Canada right now snow skiing, so
somebody's got to do it.
For his safety. I know. But yes, he is a wonderful support team, and I really appreciate him. That's
awesome. You know, and we are at our hour, and every Tuesday it seems like we just have such beautiful special guest, and you're just added to the list of now an alumnus of the Celebrity Creator Show. Absolutely beautiful, very fulfilling, and just, you know, my mind is just reeling. I want to be a Diamond Woman too, and I agree with Marianne. I want a certificate. I'll go through whatever I've got to go through. I just wish that I lived closer, because your Shine and Dine that you have regularly, I always follow along with it on Facebook, and then see how the women are interacting after your events, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And
they have been so much fun, and I'm learning a ton just from hearing the other speakers as well, and really enjoying being able to share my heart and encourage women in these different topics that we have. And there is a link on my website with more information that also has the specific dates and the topics for the month. It's always the second Tuesday of every month here at the same hotel in Stevenson Ranch, 11 to 1. And, you know, if you're anywhere close to the area or traveling through, please come join us. We really have a neat connection, a neat group of women that are attending those.
And that's Stevenson Ranch in Southern California, for anyone that's wondering. It's in
Southern California. Yep.
So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm going to turn it back over to the third Diamond Guy on the show with us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. It was absolutely pleasurable and very fulfilling. Thanks for sharing yourself.
Thank you so much, guys. It was so much fun to be on here. I can't believe the hour went by so fast.
It was very fast.
Thank you so much for having me on, and I've just really enjoyed our conversation tonight.
And I like to also echo what Kathy said, and Rhonda, you truly are a gem, as well as you, Kathy, and I appreciate both of you. Thank you both for your time on this show. I want to remind everybody one more time, up above us, click on Rhonda's nose to connect with her on Facebook, and beneath, you don't need to type anything in a URL. Just click on the banner beneath, and that will get you all the resources she's been talking about. Her book, opt into the form for that certificate that's coming up, and also find out the schedule for her Shine and Dine. And connect with Rhonda. She truly is a gem. Highly recommend anyone who's looking to become a Diamond Woman to connect with Rhonda Fisher. Rhonda, thank you once again for joining us. We have a fantastic show coming up next week. Be sure to join us. If you haven't yet registered, just click on the register link above, and all we do on that is we send you a reminder of when our next show is and who is appearing, etc. That way you will never forget when our next live airing comes up. with that, I would like to bid adieu to everyone watching live tonight and those who are watching the recording. Thank you once again, Kathy. Thank you once again, Rhonda. And we'll see you all again next time. Good night now.
Thank you, Brian, Kathy.
Good night.
Good night.